Chuckloaf 1200 Films podcast, all horror all the time. Just trying to squeeze in as many 2022 films as I can before the end of the year, before I do my big year-end review special, which should be out a few days after New Year's. I'll usually give my top 10, my 5 worst, and then a couple honorable mentions. But I still got to squeeze in a few more movies. I got 10 today from 2022 that I just binge watched. We got a billion of them. We got to go through them. Let's go. But of course, the rating scale on the bottom, dumpster fire garbage, and then can't quite recommend, okay if desperate, put it on the watch list, and then put it on top of the watch list. 3, 2, 1, let's go. X, 6.6 on IMDb. This group of porn actors and directors and camera people are all go to this old cabin that this old couple rents out to them so they can shoot their porn there. And then things start to fall apart. The setting is very grimy and very low budget, like you would expect on an old porn, I guess. But as a movie itself, I thought it was a little slow paced and kind of boring. But and then I saw before I watched this one that they already did a sequel that they filmed immediately after this one about the origin story of the old woman. I'm like, does she really deserve it? And that movie's called Pearl, and we'll get to that later. But as far as this movie, it gets going as it gets going. But it's still just okay. Okay if desperate. Expected more, as much as I've heard. Next one. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. 6.3 on IMDb, and I can't believe it's that high. It should be like 3.1. So this group of friends are going to play this killer game, or if you get the whatever, then if you get the whatever, then you have to be the killer and the other people, and it turns into a real game, and people start ending up dying. Pete Davidson couldn't look more disinterested. He looked like there was 1,000 places he'd rather be than on the set of this movie. It was so bad. It's like 10 seconds before they yell action, he's still looking at the script trying to memorize his lines, because although as a horror film, it's a time killer. Nothing more. Okay if desperate. Next one. 1,000 Little Cuts. 5.0 on IMDb. I know this isn't movie getting any buzz because it's not on anyone's list. I just kind of stumbled across it and saw 2022 on it. I said, might as well watch it. So this woman wakes up in the ER and she's all banged up. And she kind of blacked out what happened, and through the help of her therapist, played by Marita Sirtis, who was Dr. Troy from Star Trek Next Generation. It took me a minute to place her. But and she's helping the main star recount what happened. And the main woman in this is Rebecca Lydiard. I don't usually name off names like that unless they do a really good job, and she did a really good job. I should say if they do a really good job or a really bad job, Pete Davidson. But yeah, it was it's like a really good Lifetime movie. it's really more of a drama thriller. It's not really horror, but it's fine. Again, okay if desperate. Next, Smile, 6.6 on IMDb. People are falling all over themselves for this movie. $17 million budget, made $22 million its opening weekend. Although if you're like me and you've seen a lot of films, you've already seen this movie. It's called It Follows, or Fallen, or even that Dolph Lundgren movie, Don't Kill It. It's all the same. It's all an entity or whatever that jumps from person to person to person, and they're trying to stop it. It's been done. And this one's really not any better than the other ones. It's fine. No, it's not horrible. I hate to say it. But again, okay if desperate. I didn't see it much more as a time killer. Next. Significant Other. This is on a few people's list. Not high on anyone's list, but it's on there as far as top 10. This got a 5.7 on IMDb. Speaking of It Follows, as I did in the last review, Maika Monroe was one of the co-stars in It Follows. If you haven't seen It Follows yet, it came out about 5-6 years ago. It's definitely worth a viewing. It's probably in my top 10, if not top 20, of all horror all time. Anyway, it had her and her, I guess, fiance, Jake Lacey. If you see him, you probably recognize him. So this couple goes out into the woods right after a meteoroid or a comet crashed into the forest. And it kind of has that Invasion of the Body Snatchers type vibe going on here. Where you don't know who's who or what's what, to say the least. Very well made. It kept you guessing, and it was well paced. I put it on the watch list. This was a nice little movie. I enjoyed. Next one. I'm trying to get through these quick because I got a lot. Beast, 5.6. This is No Ghost in the Darkness with Val Kilmer that came out 20-some years ago. So this guy and his buddy and his 2 kids are kind of being attacked by this lion, a CGI lion. Sometimes the CGI was not great. Not quite Phantom Menace bad, but still not great. Sometimes you couldn't really tell. But yeah, he's got to fight off the lion. Don't know what else to tell you about it. Kills an hour and a half. Okay if desperate. Next, Resurrection. 6.0. 2 top tier actors, Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth. Don't usually see that in horror films. Last time I recall seeing that was Emile Hirsch and Brian Cox and the Autopsy of Jane Doe. Excellent film. Is this movie as good as that one? No. But it's interesting. So here's the premise. Try to follow me here. So Rebecca Hall used to date Tim Roth 20-some years ago. They had a baby. She had the baby. And then she came home and the baby wasn't there. And she accused Tim Roth of doing something with the baby. And Tim Roth says, the baby's in my belly. And so she left. She skipped the country, came to the U.S., and now Tim Roth is kind of unaggressively stalking her, I guess. And he still claims the baby's in his belly. Yeah. So the ending was a little flat, but a fine little journey, I guess. It's still put it on the watch list. Why not? It's fine. Um, it's so bizarre. Next, we got Raven's Hollow. 5.2. We're supposed to believe this is or pretend that this is a young Edgar Allan Poe back in the whatever hundreds. And he's leading a group of officials or militant people. They come across this town, and in the front of town, obviously, this guy has been murdered, sacrificed. So they start inquiring within the town what the heck's going on, and things quickly spiral out of control. Beginning was good, and then it kind of just dragged. Can't quite recommend. Good premise though, I guess. Next, Deadstream, currently airing on Shudder, 6.5. So this very annoying YouTuber wants to get some views after he's kind of been blackballed. So he's trying for a comeback. So he decides he's going to go to the scariest house he can find and spend the night there. So people will live stream his show, and yeah. And of course, it's not an easy night for him. But he is so obnoxious that it takes it to the next level. So because of that, put it on the watch list. Then we got two movies that I'm going to have to focus on. So we're going to play the preview for the clip of the trailer for the first one. This is Pearl.
Well, caring for your family during these times is admirable. But you only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing.
All right, Pearl. 7.0 on IMDb. Oh my god. They made this movie out to be like it was set like a movie would be in the 1930s with the dramatic musical score and the outfits and everything. They did an amazing job, and this movie just blew me away. Every character was amazing. All the acting was amazing. This woman, boy, talk about a degeneration into insanity. Oh, where do I start? So Pearl is probably in her late teens, young 20s, and she has this mother and father. Well, the mother cares for everyone because the father went to war and came back all messed up. So he kind of just sits there in his wheelchair, but he can't talk. But even though he never said a word during the movie, you could tell he knew what was going with his eyes. And when something weird would happen, you could see in his eyes, he knew something was off. So, and Pearl thinks she's going to join this dance group and get out of town and be world famous. And so she sneaks off to the movie theater one day and befriends this, the movie projectionist. And, she has all these grandiose ideas, and then, she tries to reach out to people, but as soon as they get a glimpse of her world, they're like, whoa. Wait a minute. Oh, God, this movie. Definitely put this on top of the watch list. Definite contender for top movie of the year. And now here is the price of the trailer for Barbarian. Now, Barbarian. Now, this is a amazing 7.1 IMDb. I don't know how to explain this movie. I'll give you the start of it. This woman goes to the hood of Detroit. I mean, the hood. Every house is around where she's staying is abandoned. She's at this Airbnb type deal, and there's one nice house, and that's where she's gonna stay. But apparently they double booked because there's a dude already there. The dude that played the clown from It. Yep, he's already occupant, and so they're trying to work it out, and so she reluctantly decides to stay there. And a lot of times what you think is going to happen is not what happens. They twist it on. He's like, okay, we're going to feed them this, so they go in this direction, and then we're going to undercut them. Go, boom. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yes. Yes. Justin Long, the kid from Jeepers Creepers, and Tusk, two of my favorites. He hit another home run with this one. He's billed as the third or fourth star, but he is the star. He gets more screen time than anyone. I think he got more screen time than the girl. I could be wrong, but it's close. But yeah, he deserved a higher billing. It should have been the girl and then him. But anyway, great film. I really can't explain more without giving it away, because it's so out there, but it's gripping and it's entertaining. Put it on top of the watch list. Another contender for top film of the year, Barbarian. Please watch ASAP. Let me know. And that's it. I might watch a couple more movies from this year, but I probably won't review them until after the year in review special. I might mention them during the year in review special if they deserve to be placed, but I'll do the full review later on. So the next show will be the year in review. Look forward to that. I have a lot of fun with that. So and that's all I got for you this time. Till next time.